Show us your nipples, mate.
Welcome back to the Insiders podcast. It's myself and the main man, Darren, again. We're back. We're topless on a Thursday.
Hey, Matty, just let me mute Lakey Peterson, which I'd nearly like to see if you do that in real life. How sick would that be in real life if you just mute someone?
Oh, there'd be too many people.
I had a lady at the pie shop yesterday. I hope she never gets access to this podcast, which I don't think she will be. But she was a definite mute potential.
Yeah, Kaipo Guerrero would be top of my list.
So I'm seeing you there, Matt. Luckily, the viewers aren't. Matt's pretty tattooed, and I'm seeing him in all his glory. And he's seeing my old hairy chest, and it's not even that hairy, actually, in all its glory, because Europe's going through a little bit of a heat wave.
It's hot.
Bring it on. Don't you love it? It's just unreal.
You're lucky, though, because you've got waves.
We had 36 degrees today, 3 foot, and just about offshore all day. It wasn't really cooking, but it was good. I can name drop when we get through this.
Yeah, and whereas here it's hot but flat. The only person I know that's been in the water every day so far this week is my dog. So, yes, but, you know, and also what makes it worse, I have to just do this early. I have to make a huge thanks to the guys at Album, Matt Parker, and his whole team. I got my new board arrive Tuesday. I also have to say thanks to Board Shop.
So you've had it under your arms.
It's the most special thing I've ever felt in my arm ever.
It's spunky.
That includes the soon-to-be wife and the dog.
So you've done what, like 50? You know, the little famous under the arm, under your right arm, just a couple of like synchronized weight feels and rail feels under the arm.
It's phenomenal.
Nothing better in the world than a brand new board, and except a brand new board that really feels good instead of the one that you kind of go, oh,
yeah,
thought it was going to be better.
The worst thing is like I probably won't surf it for at least 4 weeks. So
it'll be nice and cured, mate.
Yeah. But we've got some news, Daz, actually. Some news for you. A little update for the poddy before we jump into some proper stuff. I was boasting that I'd be going to Sri Lanka which would be 2 weeks today.
I kind of brushed you on that. You said that. I heard that in a podcast because I'm anal and like to just listen if we're crap or not. And I heard you tell me that you were going to Sri Lanka, and I didn't even comment on it until after I heard it. Sorry.
It's all good. Some new news. That's been cancelled because...
New news.
Sri Lanka's cancelled because...
Crap. By cricket.
They're going...
into a political coup.
Yeah, they're not having a great time. So I've managed to rearrange it all, and I'm going to Costa Rica.
Costa Rica?
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to cook. So
where are you staying? Near where? Pavonis?
No, right on the north, like right up the top, there's a little town called El Jobo or El Hobo. And there's a really famous surf spot there called Ollie's Point. And it's
Ollie's Point off Old Jobo.
Yeah, it's quite close to that. So I'll report back in a couple of weeks. But
that's pretty gnarly. It's a surf trip.
It's my honeymoon, but yeah.
Is that? Listen to that, listeners. That's how you do it. Pull it off. I went into Doesn't Disaster quick 90 something. We went through the mountains to Baquira, the Spanish royalty ski slope, and thought we'd get. And it was a public holiday weekend in Spain, and there wasn't a single room available in the whole town.
Mm-hmm.
So we said, okay, we'll just go to the next town. and we were driving through the middle of the like northern Spanish wilderness desert. There was nothing, so we had to hightail it back and like beg this dude at this hotel, and he said, "Hey, yeah, I've got a room in the back old part of the hotel that we don't use anymore." And we went in there and we had 2 single beds that weren't even the same level, and the water coming out of the tap was not clear. So Costa Rica sounds like you've upgraded on the old desert.
Yeah, I can't wait. So I'll report back on old Costa Rica when afterwards. And actually, I go there. I'm back for a week, and then I'm down with you. So, well, down in France. So
we've had a sick little pre-summer run as well. I surfed Lenore last Saturday, maybe a couple of 8-foot sets, good 8-foot sets. It was a bit of a mission waiting for waves, just typical. I was talking to this friend of mine out there, which small or big, if you've got a long wait for sets, surfing becomes meditation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You're sitting there, you're waiting, you're thinking, you got to keep you cool, like what we see Jack Robbo's good at. And then after that, we've had a bunch of good waves, even though today was supposed to be really good, and it was kind of okay because, France's massive tides.
Yeah.
It kind of played around with it. And as I ran back up, I saw Leo jump out of his car, and he was checking the same time I was. And I haven't seen him for a while, and we had a quick chat, and he was like, he didn't really get good waves either. He's off to Bolito next week. He's on the Challenger Series. Quite positive he's gonna requalify.
He's top.
I'll try and get him to come and have a chat, but I doubt.
He's top of the Challenger Series at the moment, isn't he? So
he's elusive. He's elusive. I'd have to be next to him while he's doing push-ups to try and get a chat with him.
He's all right, but he's good. But I actually saw a clip of him, and also surfing Hoscore today was Johan Duru.
Oh, I didn't see John.
And he got some sick little waves as well. So I was very
fun waves. I had 2 surfs, quick ones, board shorts. Water's cooking. 36 degrees. I just went out to dinner with clients and had a pina colada, and then they come and give me a little rum, as they say in France, a rhum orange, which means they mix it up with a few spices and a shooter. And then went and picked my son up from the Place de Landais, which is where all the main clubs and bars are, because he just finished his French high school certificate, and then his whole school went to the beach for a dip. Main beach, Hoscore. How cool is that?
Bit of a send it session.
36 degrees, and the water must be like 19 or 20. So
good work.
Aces.
Good work.
Well, so you want to talk a little bit about Punta Roca?
Yeah, should we do?
Come on, it's on. It's live. We're not going to talk about free surfing when we're in the middle of CT, and it's actually quite interesting.
Let's talk Punta Roca first, but I do have some other bits I want to chat about. But yeah, Punta Roca. Far out, where do we start? Steph Gilmore last night just blew my mind again.
Smashing it.
She surfed really good. I also think that, Joe, biggest thing for me, 2 big things for me at the moment. I think the judging has been exceptional. Early on in the men's heats, especially, you was getting some people just racing down the face and just trying to do like kind of credit card airs, and the judges normally would go 7.5, 8, and they were just going
and they brushed them.
They were just going not good. I thought, and also big thing for me is watching Jack Robbo. I actually think that if Trestles is as good as it is like it was last year, if Jack Robbo
he's got a chance, hasn't he?
1 or 2
he's coming on.
Fuck me, his surf
most improved.
He's cracked that win, and now he looks incredible.
No, he's cracked that 3 wins.
Well, yeah, but I mean the first one. Since he's cracked the first one,
yes,
he's just surfing real fucking good, and And I can't help but to just think that Ethan Ewing is just,
isn't he?
So good to watch.
I'd like to run into him and say, look, you're a once in a generation surfer. And Peter Townsend, who was like second or first world champ ever, first world champ. He's there commentating, and he laughs a lot. It's kind of funny. Just cracks up laughing, doesn't he? But like, this is a world champ. Right? He was a great surfer, and like, he's just frothing watching him. And what he said is exactly true. Is he doesn't take the foot off the gas, and straight away. And I'd said it to someone else independently because I'm similar to Einstein. Is he's kind of like Tom Curran, isn't he? It's just like someone who's surfing. Fuck, you wish you could surf like that. Can he take out Toledo? We'll see.
His surf is just seamless, just no bumps. Just
it's fantastic. But
Formula One.
Who's he got? Who's he got? Medina.
Not sure.
Ferreira, your favourite.
It'll
be a hell. It'll be a hell.
I shouldn't be a judge in that one. Actually, that being said, Italo going backside is so much better to watch. When he's going backside and actually turning, he's so good.
He's a good surfer, man. He's obviously polarizing potentially is adjective, but he's a machine. When you look at the 8 dudes, there's 8 dudes. I reckon we can brush like it went through pretty quick. It was ridiculously bad waves at the start to really good, still contestable to really kind of good waves last night when you saw Steph rip into it. And now you've got Jack, Medina, Kanoa, Griff, Toledo, Callum Robson, Ethan Ewing, and Ferreira. And now
you literally wouldn't put.
There's only one dude that you like, Callum, and I'll put an asterisk on him. That's like the cream of the crop there, isn't it?
I think that would be the top 8 I would have picked.
There you go.
Like if you
I got 6 out of the 8. I got skunked on Kaloe, who I thought would do really well, and he
surfed really bad, didn't he?
Yeah, he just had.
I was going to bring that up. He surfed really, really badly, and the other one who had an absolute nightmare was Miguel Pupo. Just out of everyone, he was just looked completely out of time.
And he's a fantastic surfer.
Yeah, amazing. And I think Kalohe, like talking about Kalohe, his film that he released early this year, late last year, his surfing in it is phenomenal. There's no doubt he's amazing. He just was off the boil. But
so let's just say that as well. That was Mentaui's.
Yeah.
If you had to put his crew, they were all good. But if you had to throw in Tarlo, Ethan, Toledo, Medina, and Jack out in those waves, they would have looked pretty good too.
Yeah, 100%. But I do think
he fell off this turn today. I don't know, because I was really busy and I was watching it while I was driving. Luckily, the cops don't pull you up because you can, Bluetooth. So you got which is fantastic. You got the audio while you're driving, so you're not, at least you know what's going on. Like Callum Robson did, I swear it was maybe the heaviest cracks of the lips I've ever seen.
Yeah, he was.
He fell off. He hit it so smart. He smashed it so hard.
And I want to say that there's a commiseration because I feel for Jackson Baker. He
just ripped, didn't he?
Other than he lost to Jack, obviously, and then other than Medina, he outscored every single person.
And I didn't see that one, and I thought he could do it. Jack got an 8. It was worth it, wasn't it?
Yeah,
a huge layback smash into a big air.
Yeah, it is. It was definitely worth
that. You got to score that because
it was. The difference is Jackson Baker done excellent surfing with nothing spicy. It was very, very good.
Oh, nothing off the hook.
And it was literally dead on 8s, which is basically what he got. And then Jack Robinson done the same but with an extra bit of like pepper on top with the thin release.
Pizzazz.
Yeah, and that is why I think Jack deserved the scores. But I felt so sorry for Jacko Baker because he would have cooked anybody else.
How fantastic a surfer is he as well? Like style. Like it's
Oh.
like I heard Kuiper and them say meat and potatoes or working man stuff. I don't think at all. It's got incredible style.
I think so too. And I think he's the...
Oh, there's Steph's about to jump in the water, mate. Let's
Steph is
hope she
paddling
doesn't
out.
fall off and lose an ankle.
Leave her alone. But no, back to Jacko is he actually, I think he surfs longer boards than ever. I think his boards are a bit more old school, like they're a bit longer but a bit thinner. And he really shoots it. He throws so much spray. It's mental.
Oh, huge.
Caroline's got... He does.
Yes, she's smashing it. Yeah, I saw it. Backhand.
Quickly back to this. So I put bets on, and I'll show those now. I put bets on at the start of the event. Right, I picked 3 guys, 3 girls. I don't go for the champs because it doesn't make me enough money. But I put £5 on Caroline Marks to win the event.
You said you were going to send me this stupid link.
Oh yeah, Paddy Power. I put a £5 on, and then I put a £5 on Steph Gilmore and a £5 on Lakey Peterson, and all 3 of them have made it through. And then the guys that I've got Kanoa, Ethan, and Griffin, and they're all through.
They could call you the 5-finger discount.
Well, only 2 of them can win it, so yeah. But come on, Caroline.
7 minutes to go, and Carissa needs a 7.7.
Yeah. But
so, who's your favourite surfer so far in the event?
I would have to say, male on the male side, I've enjoyed watching Ethan and Griff. I thought they both surfed real good, and females, Steffi G looks very good. But also, I want to say, because I'm quite harsh on her as well, Sally Fitzgibbons just lost, but she spent the last 15 minutes of her heat sending some of the biggest airs I've seen a lady do, and she was
not landing them.
Just not landing them, but also what was really cool,
gutted.
The whole, like all of the Brazilian, the whole crowd, but all of the Brazilian guys and stuff were on the beach. And when she went for a massive, she got huge air, done the full rotation, fell and landed. And as she came up, they were all like properly whistling her and stuff. And it was actually, It was pretty sick. I don't think she deserves to be there, but at the same time, I feel it was quite sick how she just sent it for like 10 minutes. She lost.
Potentially that's why she's doing that.
Yeah, she lost, but at least she was trying to go for it rather than just lose how she's lost all year. Which is what
every surfer likes watching, whether it's in a free surf or when you're watching a comp, you just want someone to fucking send it.
Yeah, it was like when I watched the Kalohe heat, it was the opposite, and the Miguel Pupo heat, they weren't like, Sally was taking off on any medium-sized wave, doing a couple of turns, waiting for the ramp and just trying to go as high and as fast as possible. And I kind of wish that some of the guys had done that, because if you're going to lose, you might as well lose going for it.
What score would you have given Yago Doors there? You think?
I personally would have probably gone 8.5.
You got a 9. I was watching it with Ben Mundy, who's down here with some other crew, and apparently they got a podcast which is slightly more popular than ours. Something Sideways.
Oh,
English guys.
Yeah. It's called We Stand Sideways. They
yes, then they got like skiers and skaters. And
they
invited me tomorrow night. They're doing one at Wasted Talent.
So,
yeah, I think we're going to try and stop past and watch, but I doubt.
Just go along and just plug it. Go along and plug in their speakers to our potty.
And so I was watching with Ben, and he saw it. He just goes 10, and I was like, hang on.
Fuck off.
Because he was massive though, but I thought he didn't land it properly. But then when you look at the replay, he kind of receptioned it pretty good, but it was still pretty sick. I said 9.
Sick. I loved it, but I just think you can't go 10 on that, because if the guy, what about if the guy behind him does 2 turns and then the same
And
air.
that, yeah, exactly. It's a point break. It's not Brazil.
He didn't do anything on the wave other than the giant air, and the giant air was sick. But I feel like you have to leave the gap, because if he'd have done the air and then some turns or some turns in the air, that's a combination.
So is this their best day? Do they finish tomorrow? Is it smaller tomorrow?
Yeah, basically Jesse Miley Dyer done the call and said, "Oh, there's more swell now, but it's kind of tapering off, and it's still going to be okay tomorrow. So we're going to try and finish."
So, which means they'll be able to at least finish with the good tides.
Kind of, yeah.
That's Luke Egan. Who's he coaching?
Caroline.
We still don't know why she was off tour.
I think they just think it was mental health issues.
Mm.
But here's something I wanted to ask you about.
I got plenty of them. I just had a pina colada and a rum orange.
You've got 30-degree heat and 3-foot waves.
We've got 36 tomorrow or 40.
Yeah, so you're fine. Here's something I want to ask you about. They've cut the tour down because obviously with the cut, they've made the weight so they can now run events in a shorter period. And I feel like they've had really shitty G-Land and just before it started they had waves and just after it finished they had waves. And now El Salvador.
No, it wasn't just after. It was a week after for G-Land. They wouldn't have scored anything.
Right. How long did it last?
It's just they just getting skunked, man.
Yeah, it's just I know it's luck. I know it's luck and it's like Mother Nature, but don't you think it's quite funny how it's like they've shortened it and they're running it and they're trying to, like, for example, this event.
That's a good thing about surfing. That's why not many people can keep up with it.
But
and no matter what they do, it won't get popular enough for the masses, so we don't have to worry.
But this event right now kind of thing is you now know for the rest of the day and for the finals tomorrow that the waves are going to be worse than what they've been, and you've got to decide your winner. But
no, I don't. Tomorrow I've got surfing, then I've got a 4-hour return. Well, 2 hours each way to Bordeaux Airport, pick someone up.
Stinker.
But he's going to be working there, and then straight into a Friday night barbecue, and then I think Saturday we've got a few more little waves as well.
Yeah.
I noticed board selection problems, mate. I've been surfing a 6'4" Gracie mini boot this week. It's a demi boot. It's a mini mat, but with a Gracie tail, which means it's got heaps of drive and everything. And people just look at me like, they like guys in shorts. They just want to kill me. And I kind of understand, but what are you going to do, man? I'm 50. I can ride whatever I want. Most popular
selling model in France, right?
Potentially, yeah. Not more than the one by there. But I've got a new Bradley Lynx coming through, 6'7". I've seen the pictures. It looks sick.
Nice.
Oh, there's what's that she does? Like Carissa sometimes. That's the difference between Carissa Moore and Steph Gilmore, because she's just a thrasher, isn't she?
She needs a 7'7" for that.
Which is the difference between Gabrielle Medina and Ethan Ewing, apart from Gabrielle. Yeah, well, Gabrielle's got.
Are you giving her the score? I'm not. I'm saying
it's a 5.
Or I'm going to go flat 7. I don't think she's getting the score, but I think it's a 7.
I'll give her a 5.
Fair enough. We'll see where it comes out. Anyway, but while that goes, who's your favourite surfers of the event so far?
I haven't seen as much as I want, but basically Ethan, as long as he stands up on his feet.
Yeah.
And I didn't see enough of the girls, but Steph looks fantastic, yes. And what I've just seen in this heat, Caroline Mark, she's just freakish.
I like that.
Backside, anyway.
I really like Caroline, but I always seem to back her in as well. So,
she's just smashing it. But I haven't seen Toledo's heats. I haven't seen them, and I wouldn't have bet. I would have bet. I wouldn't bet against him. I would have bet my house for him in waves like this.
Yeah, 5-2-3 for that wave. So you should be a judge.
There you go. I tell you what was classic. They said to Geordie today that people compare this to Jay Bay, and he said that whoever did that should get a slap in the face.
Jordy's the man.
on camera. It was unreal.
Yeah.
It was unreal.
Quickly about Philippe before we move on. I feel like at the moment he's not got out of third gear. I've watched his heats and he surfed real good, but I don't think he's even started to try yet, let alone hit full speed. So
he hasn't needed to. So who's he going to go against?
Who's he got? Is it Cal Robson or I've forgotten?
Yes, Cal Robson.
Yeah, and then because the ones I'm interested in, the heat. I mean, fuck, look at the heat. Jack Robinson, Medina, Kanoa, Griff.
I honestly don't think that Jack can beat Medina.
I don't know. He did it in G-Land. So
sure did. We'll soon see, won't we?
We'll soon see. Moving on from that, I wanted to talk to you about something which is the DNA movie on Stab Premium. So if you haven't watched it, you should pay up and get it or nick a mate's code. Have you seen it, Daz?
Yes, I have.
What do you think of it?
I don't know. I kind of got a bit lost about the whole movie just from the final Hawaiian section, which fucking blew my mind, man. Like, you hear the Americans have a tendency to really oversell themselves, which they often do. But when you watch Griffin and Crosby pipeline, rights or lefts, like, fuck.
It's mental.
there's only a metre of water over that reef.
Yeah, and when you watch most of them, and I think Crosby said this in an interview as well, is they've got like 5 guys one side of them, 5 guys the other side of them. They're turning and paddling like 2-3 strokes. Yeah, 2-3 strokes. Like they don't see that wave coming for 15 seconds or whatever and go, right, I need to stroke into it. It's literally like, right, got to go, bang, like kind of thing. Even that wave, it was all over Instagram, but the wave Crosby got where that guy dropped in on him and he just basically,
yeah, that's so critical.
Strong arms you out of the way and then just comes flying out of it. You're just like, he could, like, realistically, like, that's like death. Like, if that goes wrong, people die at pipeline. So
no, I thought it was incredible. I thought it was super interesting looking at them as little kids to be able to have that footage and then have the kids grown up. It was sensational, and they're just incredible. I don't know if Crosby will make the tour. I think
if he wants,
I'd like to meet them. I'm wondering if they're not simpletons, but they're certainly not simpletons in the water.
No, I don't think they are.
I didn't say that.
I really, really like Griffin's attitude towards quite a lot of stuff. I'm a fan of Griff.
They're funny.
What I wanted to ask you about, what the fuck is going on with Christian Fletcher?
Oh yeah, it's loose cannon.
He is an absolute lunatic, right?
I saw him at Quicksilver Air. Quicksilver did a famous 3-way. What was it called? The Quick Cut with skate, snow, and surf. And this was in 2001, maybe. And I'm telling you, even then he looked like as loose as 10 cannons.
He's mental.
He's had a life of fun.
Half of what he says just
potentially too much fun.
Half of what he says doesn't make sense, and the other half is just like weirdness. But
it's too much fun.
I did think it was cool, like how they got
a bunch of brothers.
Yeah, you got like
Seth and Josh Moniz.
Yeah,
Connor and
Parker
Coffins.
Yeah,
just just the fact that, like, if you're two brothers and you both surf and you're of a similar age, what a fantastic experience to share your life. To have the same passion. You just got something your whole life here, like busting to go on a surf trip. And not even like these pro dudes, any brothers in the whole world, or sisters, obviously, or a sister and a brother, a sibling. You got someone from your own family that you can go on a surf trip with. That's incredible.
Definitely, 100%. And
obviously, these two dudes got incredible talent, so it just helped them.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing is, it was a bit like they had each other pushing each other. Obviously, they had good opportunity as well from where they lived, and they just kind of seemed to. I was quite impressed by how their mindset of how driven they are to be world-class surfers. You know, like
is Crosby surfing sometimes better than Griff's?
100%, absolutely.
And when you look at it, and I didn't used to think so, I actually do think so now. I think Parker Coffin's more exciting to watch than Connor, even though I love Connor Coffin surfing. I think Parker's more edgy.
Yeah, I think the difference with the Coffin brothers, I actually said this quite a while back, is you can see that one has been. I said it after we spoke to Jack Freestone. Connor Coffin has been put in the box of, I need to surf this way for a competition, and that's how he surfs in a comp and out of a comp, because he's kind of always in comp mode, whereas Parker's basically a free version of that. He hasn't put himself in that box, and I think has become a more exciting surfer because of it.
I missed it, but you could have woman. Steph's got an 8 on the first wave, and
far out.
A 5.9. And Caroline Marks' first competition back, straight in the semis. Beats Carissa.
Smokes. So Carissa still hasn't won this year, which is quite weird.
So briefly, that was a sick movie. And here's something I wanted to talk about. The WSL, who are just as Gumby as anyone in the world, just get sent a memo from Dirk Ziff that you're not allowed to hire any non-bubbly blonde commentators for females. That's the memo. Is that the memo? That's just the memo.
Do you reckon?
Rosie, Laura,
Shannon.
Shannon.
Yeah.
And Laura, I think Laura's probably the best of all of them. And
I agree.
Really think she's a good commentator, but I always have this weird bee in my bonnet that like she literally does charge. And it sometimes, but I always found it annoying when they talk about how she said, I just went to these places and they're just so friendly, the local hellman, and they just pick me up and they get me in the jet ski and they put me into, and I just always thought, well, what if I turned up there and said, hey, fellas?
You get punched out.
That's it.
Yeah.
She's got the privileged white blonde. We're privileged white male. The WSL have got the privilege. I think it's a little bit polarizing because I think they've got a huge market out there, and they could have a bit more diversity in the commentary team. And I actually think, is he Mexican, the guy?
Yeah, Mitch Salazar.
Yeah, I think he's great.
I love him.
He's great. And then I, even saying that, felt like I was being potentially stereotypical, but he definitely is Mexican.
Yeah. But he also, what I love about him is
ripper.
What he brought to it is he could stand there and have I think for that Brian, what's his name? Brian something, the local wildcard winner. Brian Perez, is that who it was? I can't remember now.
Yes.
He literally said at the start of the interview, I'm going to ask a question in English, then I'm going to ask it in Spanish. He's going to reply in Spanish, and then I'm going to translate it for you. And it made the interview a little bit long, but you didn't have a surfer standing there struggling
exactly
to speak. And
which is what I'd rather sometimes Medina speaking Portuguese.
Me too. Yeah, I spoke to.
He sounds a bit goofy in English sometimes, and I don't think he's goofy.
No, yeah, and you hear him going, and like you hear him go, it was good. Yeah, I surf good. I do this good, and it's like, yeah, cool. Let the guy speak in Portuguese because I'm pretty sure he speaks a lot better in his native tongue.
And it gives us a chance to learn ourselves.
Yeah.
So you got Netflix?
Yeah.
Did you watch Casa de Papel, The Money Heist?
No.
One of the greatest TV series ever. So watch it. The Money Heist, they call it in English, but it's Casa de Papel in Spanish. But you watch it in Spanish with the English subtitles, because if you watch even a half an episode in English, it makes you want to throw your telly out the window. But when you see him speak in Spanish, it's fantastic. And you just put the subtitles on, which is how we should do things.
Yeah, I watched Narcos that way.
Yes, so did I. Of course, it's just better.
Yeah, it is so much better. But
this is a flash. This is a flash episode tonight, Matt. So we're gonna dig deep. Have you got something else you want to beans on about?
Well, I don't think necessarily. I've got kind of quite a good do or don't that, because I had a bit of a nightmare session.
Well, let's do them. Let's do it.
Right.
Let's do and don't.
So, do's or don'ts, Dads. I can kick off here because, as I say, I had a bit of a nightmare session. Saturday I went surfing, and two things. So these are both don'ts, which you can make one into a do however wish you like. But so firstly, quite simply, I surfed a board that I hadn't surfed for a few months. It had cold water wax on it. The sea is significantly warmed up, and I didn't bother re-waxing it, and the wax went all funky on me. And secondly, to do with the same thing, which didn't help, is I had washed my wetsuit and wetsuit boots with a little bit of kind of like shower gel, just to make it smell a little bit, not a lot, but a tiny bit of shower gel.
That kind of, I don't really think I want to comment on this, Matt, but I'm going to let you continue on that with the shower gel in your booties.
Yeah, just like, because
sounds like a bit of lubrificator.
Yeah, so I washed it. Clearly, didn't wash it out properly, and and basically ended up soaping up my own board while it already had bad wax. So, it was an eventful one, because
I really don't know if we have, but we won't cut it from the tape. But don't worry, viewers. We know no one out there is going to do it. Don't worry. But if ever you like have 10 tabs of acid and 6 pina coladas, still don't do it.
Yeah, it was a bad one. So I had a bit of a mare. So I would say maybe don't wash your wetsuit and use shower gel and not wash it out properly, and do wax your boards properly according to the water temperature. There you go.
It's very smart. I'm going to throw in a do, which I think everyone, it was similar to your don't, which I think everyone out there does anyway, and do have a small wave performance board for small fun waves despite the crowds, which at the moment I don't have, because I sold my 6.0 caviar and I'm struggling. I'm struggling. I've got to get something somehow back into the quiver, or just hold on till autumn. I've got mini males and weird shit like that, but it's good to have a real spunky little square tail, swallowtail, and I don't mean like retro fish, something, whether it's wide or it's something that will get your speed off takeoff, which I think everyone does.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
If they don't, if they're mid to just beginning, newer surfers, people that haven't had the chance to be non-stop surfing like I have recently or whatever, do it. Have a good board for small fun waves. And if you need volume, have volume. But don't have it to be too wide up the front so that you can have speed when you're coming out of a turn. And don't put on too much sunscreen just before you surf, which is similar to the mats.
Give yourself enough time for your sunscreen to
half an hour before. We learn that as kids, and you just think your parents are kooks for telling you that, but you've got to do it because otherwise you're just slipping all over the place like a mongrel.
I agree. Yeah, that's a solid one because that catches a lot of people out because you can't. Sometimes you think you're too cool for school, and then you get down there and you realise it's a bit too hot, and you're like, right, I'm gonna bang some sun cream on, and then suddenly you're you're slipping and sliding all over the place. Jeez.
Well, you'll be down here getting your rig out and getting all red like myself when you get here.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I get a tan in Costa Rica, so I'm not red, but I will be definitely down there.
So how long are you going to Costa Rica for?
8 days.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So,
What's the forecast?
Surf-wise?
Yeah, is it too far out? When are you leaving?
Oh, I leave 2 weeks yesterday.
Yesterday, so it's a bit too far out.
Yeah, but at the moment it's like 3 to 5 foot and 15 seconds. So
are you taking a board?
No. I guess this would be a final kind of lesson in our do's and don'ts. It's not really a do or don't, but it's a lesson. I once heard about Joel Parkinson going on his honeymoon to Fiji, and he took boards, and
he's still married though.
He didn't see his wife. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, true. But he rips.
He's world champion. You'll never be world champion, but you might be able to rent one there, man.
But he, of
course you'll be able to.
I've spoken to them. Yeah, they do like tour, like trips to certain points, and I've said to them like about boards and stuff. And they've said, so we're all good. But
Isabel Nichols surfs like Steph Gilmore. I'm going to say that. That's my last comment.
100%. I completely agree, except for she's not quite as tall, so she doesn't extend as much. But
what's tall mean?
Tall.
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 In height. Tall.
Yeah.
Good night, listeners.
Right.
I love you all.
We love you. Everyone loves you, Daz. Au revoir. Sleep tight. Cheers, boy.